Hi guys, welcome back to Love Luxury YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about Chanel serial numbers. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like and comment. Hi, thank you so much for joining us today. We are talking about these beautiful Chanel bags. Now, this bag and this bag look very similar, but there's something about them that's really quite different. So let's get talking about Chanel serial numbers. So a very important way of telling whether or not a Chanel bag is genuine is by what is known as the serial number. Now, the serial number was introduced in 1986, and from 1986 the serial number started with 0 and then went up in increments of 1 according to the new serial number code. Serial numbers starting with the number 1 were from 1989 to 1991. So we can see that for the first two numbers, 0 and 1, they represented 2 years of production for Chanel handbags. Serial numbers starting with the number 2 represented bags that were produced between 1991 to 1994. It wasn't until the 13 series that the numbers became more frequent. So the year may have more than one number. So 2010 can have 13 and 14 on the serial number. Very similar patterns emerged until 2019, where we saw a whopping 3 serial numbers for this year. The 2019 serial numbers were 27, 28 and 29. In 2020, it had its own serial number, and so did 2021. And that is where serial numbers on holograms stopped for larger leather goods. In 2021, Chanel introduced a microchip system. Now, many people were questioning why Chanel would do something like changing their system. So these small serial numbers were unique, or are unique, to each particular bag. So you can imagine why Chanel needed to introduce 3 serial number codes for the year 2019. Their production must have gone through the roof in order for them to need 3 codes at the beginning of their serial numbers for the year 2019 alone. Chanel tried to stop counterfeit and fraud rings by changing these hologram serial numbers that were made of a very small piece of paper and plastic coating. So there would be small differences on the serial numbers from year to year. But from 2004 to 2017, they actually kept how the serial numbers looked, these hologram stickers, the same. They very cleverly introduced this coating, this plastic film coating with glitter in it. Now, I've seen the originals and I've also seen the non-originals, and I can tell you that they are no way near close to replicating on the older models with the glitter. The problem that Chanel and the other fashion houses found was that the counterfeit rings were getting better and better at copying all of the intricate little details that Chanel and the other brands had put in place to stop these counterfeit rings from being able to produce exact replicas. It's been said that due to a ring of counterfeit people that were reproducing bags to such a high level that the fashion houses got together. This is hearsay, that the fashion houses got together and they put their heads together and they said, look, what can we do to change and to stop these people from copying our goods? So in 2021, an executive decision was taken, and that executive decision was that the hologram stickers were going to be removed from Chanel bags, not small leather goods, but bags presently, and replaced with a chip. So these chips would have a microchip inside that would be able to be read by the Chanel system, but also it would have a serial number that was random externally but correlated to the microchip inside. But the introduction of these microchips meant that Chanel no longer produce or provide their famous black serial number authentication cards with their bags anymore. So what does that mean for buyers on the market these days? So in my experience, what that means is that when you buy a brand new bag from the boutique, or if you buy a current bag from a secondary reseller like ourselves here at Love Luxury, the newer bags are not going to have their black card anymore, but they will have this new chip system. If you buy a bag from a reseller or a secondary source outside of Chanel, and you find that the bag that you've purchased has a microchip and a hologram with a card, you can be 100% sure that that is not a genuine bag. Thank you so much for watching so far. If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to hit subscribe, like and comment. As these new microchip system bags are so new to the market, it's 2022, they've only been out for about a year, it's very hard for anybody except the staff in Chanel to know what the codes stand for. So we can't tell what code is for what year because it doesn't work like that anymore. So all that we can say is that it will 100% be no older than the 2021 bag. If you're buying a bag on the secondary market and you really want to know how old it is, the only way that you're going to be able to tell is if you have the original receipt with the bag. So if the reseller or the seller is selling the bag with the original receipt, that will have the date on it and that will tell you how old the bag is. So in front of me, I have these two medium classic flaps. They're both in lambskin. This is with gold hardware and this is with rose gold hardware. Now, the rose gold hardware was only released in 2021. It was a very limited one-time offer and these bags are very, very rare. However, these bags are obviously more classic because they have the classic black and gold combination. So now knowing that this bag was only produced in 2021, this is the bag that has the serial chip. And this is the bag that has the serial hologram. And we're going to show you some close-ups of both of them now. It's also worth noting that if you are buying a bag on the secondary market and you see the bag listed on an e-commerce platform or some kind of internet platform, the seller may black out all of the numbers except for the first one or two. And the reason for that is because it is specific to the exact bag and they may not want to show their serial number to everybody. So don't be alarmed if somebody is selling a bag and they're not going to show you the whole serial number until you've purchased the bag. The reason for that is they are protecting their bag from any kind of fraudulent activity. It has been known for people to ask for a serial number and then to report that bag as stolen and say that they've seen it listed on an e-commerce platform. Now, it would be devastating if that were to happen to anybody because no matter who you are, whether you're the first buyer or whether you're a reseller or whether you're the third person along, the last thing that you want is to lose a bag or be accused of stealing a bag that is actually yours. So we've come to the end of our video today. We're talking about holograms and microchip serial numbers in Chanel bags. Don't forget that any bags that you see or any items that you see me talking about on these YouTube videos will be available to purchase in our Knightsbridge store in Beauchamp Place. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like and comment.